Welcome back to week 2 of our body transformation challenge. Last week, we set the foundation. We talked about tracking, staying consistent, and we figured out what worked and what didn't work. This week, we really started to settle into a rhythm. We made progress in our sleep, diet, and training, and we're slowly tightening things up week by week.
Yeah, it's not about huge changes overnight, it's about small adjustments stacking up over time. Let's break down how week 2 went for us.
Alright, let's talk about rest and recovery. Rest was definitely better for me this week compared to last. I struggled a bit to falling into deep sleep last week, but overall this week I would say it was much better. The weather helped a lot. I think the cooler temperatures coming in, it made it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. So I would say most nights I got solid deep rest and I could feel it in my energy levels during the day and in my workouts.
Same here, the cooler weather honestly made a huge difference. We both felt more recovered and ready to train. It's one of those small things that add up when you're consistent with your routine.
Alright, let's talk about diet. This week felt a lot smoother than week 1, and I think that's kind of going to be the theme. Every week is just going to feel better and better. I stayed consistent with tracking everything and hit my protein goals daily, and I've started leaving a small amount of calories open for a little treat at the end of the day. Nothing crazy, but it keeps me sane and makes sticking to the plan much easier.
As of for me, diet was way better too. Last week I struggled to get enough protein in, but this week I made more of an effort to plan ahead and fit in earlier in the day. My appetite is still high from soccer, but now I'm using that to my advantage. Instead of just craving carbs, it's all about balance.
Overall, the diet's starting to feel more natural, like part of our routine instead of a chore. That's progress in itself. Now let's talk about the training. Last week we did workout A, B, then A. This week we're doing workout B, A, then B. So training this week was pretty similar to last week, same structure and same focus, but I think the execution was better. I've started realizing how important it is to truly train to failure. Sometimes you think you're pushing hard, but there's still a few reps left in the tank. So this week, the plan was to control the weight, focus on the form, and make every rep count.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I think I'm going to start lowering the weight just a bit to make sure I can hit failure instead of just trying to move heavier weight that I can't control yet. Once I consistently get more than 8 reps with good form, then I'll increase the weight. It's about progress, not ego lifting.
Exactly. I've been feeling stronger on most of my lifts lately, especially on pressing movements. Chin-ups are still a bit of a challenge, but I know consistency will get me there. It's a slow climb, but every rep counts.
Yeah, and honestly, having the diet dialed in this week made a huge difference. I had more energy in my workouts, recovered faster. It's only week 2, but we're already feeling stronger and more stable in our routine. I'm really curious to see where we'll be in the end of the 90 days.
Okay, now let's talk about mindset. This week felt pretty similar to last week. We're still adjusting to the level of consistency. It's new for us. The hardest part just has been managing everything else in life around the routine. Work, family, and all the other things that can easily throw you off track.
Yeah, that's definitely the toughest part, making sure life doesn't get in the way. But that's exactly why we designed this routine, to be simple and realistic. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent enough, keep showing up week after week.
We're learning how to balance it all, even though it's still early in the challenge. We're already seeing how small adjustments build momentum. Mentally, we feel ready for the next week.
So that wraps up week 2 of our body transformation challenge. We've improved in our rest, locked in our diet, and learned more about training with control instead of ego.
Yeah, and it's only been 2 weeks, but we can already feel the difference, physically and mentally. We're not chasing perfection, just better habits and stronger consistency every week.
Next week, we'll keep building on this. Same mindset, more structure, and hopefully a few new personal records.
If you've been following along, staying consistent with us, drop a comment below about how your week went, and let's keep holding each other accountable. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in week 3.